Well, hello there, everyone. Let me make sure my mic is turned on. Okay, it is. Very good. So today we're going to do a little bit of work in the meadows, mostly. I don't have anything specific in mind, but for one, I would like to redo the foliage here because it was just kind of a temporary placement. Also, I see the Mud Crab Nation message up there. You and me, we're going to fight in-game. Horseshoe crab versus mud crab. 1v1 me, bro. Let me take a look in here. So we're going to remove all this foliage. I want to redo the layout. But yes, how's everybody doing today? Actually, I need to do this real quick. Behind the school? Fine, if I must. Let's see. Here we go. So I need to decide what trees we're going to use here. I did some of that on the last, I think it was the last stream, or the one before that. It was one of those. But I need to narrow down which ones we're going to use. So let's take a look through these, because I haven't looked at them a whole lot. This is all right. Well, you know, as horseshoe crab, I can do anything really. So I don't know, man. I'm not sure it's actually fair for you. I really like birch trees, so we're definitely going to use those. Dogwood. That's a vibe. It disappeared. There we go. So I think we'll use maybe one or two of each one. None of them are really worse than the others so far. This one does look very similar to the ash trees, though. Might not be necessary to use these. Yeah, I think we'll cut out the linden trees and use ash. I'm hyped. For you. Okay, so we've got the ash trees, dead trees. Let's replace the lindens with another dogwood, I think. See which one. I've realized I really hate the ones that like hang down too much where you walk into it constantly, so I'm going to try and avoid that. I think that one looks a little better. Whoops. But yes, I'm really glad to hear that. I think it's going to be a really good game. I know I'm a little biased, but still valid. These are kind of going to be placeholders a little bit because I made some trees last night for the meadows. And they're not quite finished yet, so I can't use them. Are we already using this one? We are not. Okay. So we're going to use these. And let me just check on the settings for them. So we're going to start it off with procedurals for the initial placement of these trees and then manually adjust it. It is riveting. Use this. I think other than that, the settings are probably pretty solid. So we're just going to make it where it falls off a bit as it gets to the edge of the forest. It's not going to be like a full forest in most areas. I'll probably put one in one or two places, but mostly I want it to be clumps of trees. But the setting we're enabling right now is going to make it where they fall off a bit as it gets close to the edge of the little forests. And it's a little less dense. I think it looks more realistic. Okay. Let's see how it looks. But first we're going to remove all of these. You're right. Giant nut rocks sounds like the right move. Always, really. Is there ever a time where knot rocks aren't the answer? We're probably going to end up manually painting a lot of these, but I like to use procedurals to start just because it gives that really random feeling that's kind of hard to replicate. Or it can, at least. We'll see. Might have to tweak it a little bit. But we'll just start with this area. And we'll move on once we get it looking good here. I also need to make the ground a little less shiny, but I do want a little shininess because it's supposed to feel wet. It's a meadow after all. Let's see. Okay, that's way over there. Here we are. Where is the bound of the volume? Right over here. Solid. Let's make it about half the size so we can have a couple of them instead of doing one really big one. Because that takes a lot longer. I'm going to turn up the camera speed. This is an area I've been waiting to improve for a while because it's been a little difficult to get inspiration for the meadows, but I think it's time to dive in get it looking nice before the tech demo. I actually do have some giant rocks here though. Or not rocks, that is. That's my signature. I have to put giant rocks everywhere I go. At the moment, I think I actually don't even have any medium trees right here, so we're about to change that. This landscape will be the top G. So with the meadows, I want it to be like, at least what I have in mind. I'm not really set on a specific thing, but what I have in mind is little streams, which I need to make deep enough for aquatics or semi-aquatics to go in and at least be a little bit hidden. And lots of reeds, tall grass, open areas, just small clumps of forest, and then one or two areas that are bigger forests. But those, I don't want them to be really dense, just a little bit. I'm gonna make this a little wider. That should work. Okay, so let's see how this looks with the first generation, and then we can adjust it from there. So when you use procedurals, you have a bunch of different options with how it will let them grow in the simulation it does. So I set up some settings. I don't know if it's going to be great yet. I'm going to have to tweak it a little bit. And this will take just a moment. It'll look like it's frozen while it's doing it. And yes, 100%. I have a little procedural layer for the landscape set up to spawn flowers, things like that. Oh wait, did I just do that one way over there? Yes, I did. Let's not. Okay, this is the one I meant to do. Yes, I actually was looking at pictures of Georgia just a bit ago. I wanted a little inspiration for it. So I'm gonna try and make something nice looking. Okay, that's definitely not what I'm aiming for right here. It made clumps kind of, but they're too close together. So let's tweak how they're growing. We can give it rules for how we want it to grow. So that is what we're doing. Did we already open that? Yes. Drop that down a little bit. A larger collision radius would be good, I think. So this defines how large around the tree is going to block out other trees growing. Perhaps seed density. Let's drop that down. And we're going to reduce the density just a little bit. This actually doesn't even have a collision radius, so let's use that. Let me make sure they're all going on the correct landscape layers. Okay, so far these are. So this also determines things like when it's pretending to plant seeds. It chooses how far apart from where it's dropped is when it starts growing, that kind of thing. So that's way beyond what I meant to do. Yeah, it's pretty fun to play with. But you can use it to shape how you want it to grow, basically. So it's not quite as simple as just pushing simulate and it makes something nice looking, but it's generally pretty easy to use. It's just a lot of messing around with settings until it looks nice. Change that. This is a built-in Unreal feature. It's just not everyone uses it, but I think they should. It's really good for getting a start on a biome. Let's leave that a little high. Though it may not be the most exciting thing to watch, but it's pretty fun. Yes, definitely. But a lot of people feel like they're not making something if they use procedurals, but I don't see it that way. Hello there! And I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad you dropped in too. Okay, let's try this again. That's a little bit closer. Still a little too dense though, but it's starting to get the pattern I'm looking for. I do need these to spread further apart though. We'll try one more setting. I'm not going to make y'all watch this over and over, but we'll try one more setting and see if we can get it looking good. Bump that up. Like 350. So what I'm going to try to do now is have it adhere a little bit closer to the rules instead of spreading out so much. Almost looks like aspen. Yes, it does. They look a lot like aspens. And let's change that a little bit. That one doesn't need to be quite so dense. Sit it down a little bit. That's fine. I can actually leave the dead ones alone. And one more here. Okay, let's see how this looks. If it's still not what I'm going for, we're just going to do it manually. Yeah, still not quite what I'm looking for. It's a little bit better, but too dense in some areas. So here's what we'll do. We're going to remove these. The other one I just placed, where is it? There it is. And we're going to put down some small streams and then build the trees around that. I think that'll be a good idea. So we could have a pond over here with little streams that wind through the fields here and eventually end up in the ocean. I think that'd be pretty solid. And then we'll put the trees around that. Well, I'm definitely hoping that everyone enjoys this as much as I enjoy making it. That's a high bar. Let me turn the strength up. So I need to make this just deep enough for aquatics. It's going to look really rough at first, as it always does, and then we just smooth it out from there. In fact, I guess we'll just use sculpt. I try to avoid it because it feels like using a hammer. This is the human island, but dinos are still able to go here, so you'll still be able to go around as a dino. It's just it's a more human-centric island. I'm going to put random smaller streams here and there. Yeah, I think I'll have it branch off this way. Yes, I'll also be making the Dino Island. But Islander is actually going to start on it before me. He's going to be working on that one a little bit more heavily than he has on this one. But he has done quite a bit in this one too. But this one, I think we're going to have like a little watering hole right here. Something on the smaller side. But every time I've looked at pictures of meadows, things like that, I saw a lot of them that had these random smaller marshy areas. So that's what I'm going to go for with all these smaller bodies of water here. We'll start with this. I'll probably add more as we go. So for the smaller bodies of water here, like the little marshy areas, I'm going to use some darker water that's harder to see through, and the usual river water in this larger one. And I'm currently working on some duckweed to put on top of the water, but we'll put something else very much like it for now. There are some cliff faces here. I can confirm this because I have also ran off of them. The first time I died in the game was because I ran off a cliff. The duckweed will be in the little ponds and things like that here. I'm going to smooth that out. Nicer transition. I do have to set up the trees a little bit differently for that, but we don't need entirely new ones. I just need to do a little additional setup for dinos to be able to climb. That's a good idea. I think I will do that. Darker ground. Kind of like mud. I think I actually might have a mud layer. I need to see. I'm a little limited on what I can use for the ground materials because with it being a big island, I have to stay within a limit for the amount of different materials on the landscape. And with all the different biomes, it can be a little difficult to stay in that limit sometimes. But I think I do have something like that. Mud crab army, I see. That's fine. I don't need one spot for the horseshoe crabs. I have the whole island. The world is our playground. Yes, I can change the color for the moss, and oh, look at that, some trees left over. I'm definitely going to change the pattern and the draw distance of the grass here. Although it's drawing further than it looks on the stream because our sense of scale is a little off. You may believe that if you wish. If there must be a war, then there must be a war. We do have a cave that has a horseshoe crab shrine in it. You know, with it being the alpha predator better than mud crabs. This should be pretty deep. Probably 10 feet or so? Oh yes, in the jungle. There's a cave with a horseshoe crab shrine in it. A wondrous place for worship. Oh, but I did. It is there. It's on one of the older streams, but I set it up while I was streaming. And it is still there. I think this stream could become pretty dangerous with it having access to the ocean. I have a feeling this is going to be a hot spot for people hiding in the water. Yes, it is. Of course, this is not because the humans can take down a horseshoe crab. That's ridiculous. It's because the horseshoe crabs generously donate for armor. And we'll probably adjust this after I put the water in. It's a little easier to visualize once the water's in there. But I'm going to paint the landscape a little bit first before we put the water in. I was kind of thinking of Indiana Jones when I made the shrine. You have good taste. I approve. This might be a little too steep. I accidentally went up in this area. I think I'll bring it down. Gonna look ridiculous for just a little bit. Valley in the middle of this. All hail the crab. Absolutely. I feel like I'm gonna be defending the horseshoe crab's honor every time I'm playing online, but I do what I must. Let's use some erosion to make this transition a little wider. You feel like we'll have to fight each other. I don't know if you're talking to me, but yes, we will. I'm down. I'm always prepared to defend the horseshoe crab. It's possible I was born for it. It might be why I'm here, working on the game. For the horseshoe crab. Which is reasonable. Now let's see, it looks like it still might be a little bit too high. Just have to bring down the sides a little bit too, so it's not like walking off a cliff into a stream. It is, yes, it is sad to watch you and know that you're wrong. But, you know, I'm just gonna let you figure it out. How powerful the horseshoe crab really is. Sometimes it takes an experience. To see the horseshoe crab dominate in its natural environment. Oh, now it's getting a little closer to what I wanted. You're not used to someone as crazy as you about crabs. I understand. We are the enlightened ones. We'll save it right here, because you never know when a crash is coming, and that would just be terrible. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. Unless you're a horseshoe crab, it only has strengths. Man, if I had seen graphics like this when I was playing PS2 back in the day, I wouldn't have believed it. It's crazy to see how far it's come. I'm sure we'll still have to adjust the ground more, but let's go ahead and put some mud or something. This layer is named mud, but I don't think that's what it actually is. We're about to see. That's what I thought. It's... I don't know. I don't even know. It looks like I need to change that one. I think it comes from another one. Riverbed. I think we'll have to use the riverbed material here. Oh yes, when I go back and play old games, every single time it's a little bit disappointing. The graphics are not what I remember. Not that that is what made the game good or anything, but you know, in your head it looks a lot different. I think on the edges of these streams I'm going to blend in like a darker color of the meadows ground. So it can transition a little more smoothly. Crash Bandicoot, oh my god, I love that game. Or all of them. It's very difficult though. And old Game Boy games, absolutely. I had a Game Boy Advance a long time ago, back before they had the backlight on the screen, so I had to get this little like clip-on LED light for it. Those were the days. I never got to play much GameCube. A little bit, but not much. My dad was always a Sony guy, so we had the PlayStations, and then I had lots of friends who had like N64 and stuff. But I only knew like one person, I think, that had a GameCube. For the sand, I think I'm going to switch to like a rocky material. Let's see. Oh yes, I forgot about having to pack batteries. Good times. Is it stone? I think that's the one I'm looking for. Oh yes, there were some awesome Sonic games back then. There was also one on PC I used to play. Sonic Racing, or just, I think it was just called Sonic R. I found out that soundtrack is on Spotify, and I've played it like crazy. I'm gonna blend that a little better back there in just a moment. Let's use, I think since the dirt would be lighter, it would probably blow over the rocks a little bit. I'm gonna set it to like... Oh, that's not what I wanted. I didn't really want grass in there. Here we go though. Let's blend it a little bit. Yes, Sonic R had an awesome soundtrack in that 90s kind of way where it's a little bit cringy to listen to it, but in a good way. All of this because some trees wouldn't place how I wanted them to. Oh, I bet nobody here has played this. I've never met somebody else who has. Battlezone on PC 1 and 2. I played those all the time. Or Outlaws. That was a good game too. I think... Let's see how this looks. Yeah, we could blend it like that on the edges. Not bad. But I think a little darker because it You can see the tiling really clearly, and I'm not a fan of that. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I figured, but there's a remastered version of Battlezone on Steam now. I love it. Ooh, I played Zoo Tycoon. That was awesome. Pretty much all the Tycoon games I could get my hands on. This looks alright, but it's a little bit strange. I'm gonna kind of do this. My own variation. This is the Meadows biome. I haven't done very much with it yet, so I've been looking at getting this done because with the tech demo coming, I really need to make this area look nice. We're definitely going to have to mess around with grass distribution because the way it is now, it looks kind of cool having the patches like this, but at the same time, it's a little bit too spread out, and it's just completely empty on some parts. So that needs to be fixed. Hello there! I just realized you might have been talking to Small John there. But my name is also John. You know, I don't even really know what to say to that. I mean, clearly you're just so misled. I can't change your opinion. For now. Until you see the power of the horseshoe crab in action. Then you will understand. This I know. Two Johns indeed. I have a really generic name. Like, a lot of times when I tell people my name, they think I'm lying. Why are these floating? We'll revisit that. Oh, we will see. Because my first, middle, and last name are all first names, kind of, and it's really generic. So a lot of people think I'm making it up because I don't want to give them my name. Which would be really strange. I'm not like a secret agent or something. Yet. Okay, I think this will be good enough to start with. For putting the river down. Will there be a lot of flowers in this biome? Yes, there will. Technically, there already are, but I don't have them set to cold very far yet, so you only see them when you're down on the ground. Yes. Weird name, squad. Or completely normal, depending on how you look at it. So normal, it's weird. That I'm not sure about. Cherry trees. I might put some out here, but I'll have to talk to Islander about that. I'm not sure if that's something he'd be cool with or not. I do have one cherry blossom tree in the middle of a cavern right now. Bamboo. We don't have any right now, I don't think. Yeah, we don't. But I was thinking about that yesterday. Because it would make sense to have some here. I do have some water plants that I made though, so I might import those today if we have time. Yeah, I really like cherry blossom trees. It's something I'll have to consider though, because with all the flowers, it's more performance intensive than most trees. Or not necessarily, it won't impact performance much, but it will impact disk space a little bit. So it's something I'll have to think about. Let's make this a little bit wider in this spot. In fact, I'm going to move this back a little bit, because I can see it folding back there under the landscape. There we go. Yeah, I like the idea of having cherry blossom trees. And I like making them because they're just really cool trees. I'm considering growing one in real life, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Apparently there are some that do alright in Texas, so that was surprising. About right there, I think. I only have one fruit tree in my yard, and it's tiny because it's one that I'm using as a bonsai, but I do have one. It's a fig tree. You have a cherry tree park in your city. That is awesome. I don't think I've ever seen one in real life. It'd be really cool. I do have a neighbor though that has a really huge Don Redwood, and that looks pretty cool in person. Which part of the map is this? This is our meadow biome. It's one that I haven't worked on a whole lot yet. I've just done a little bit with it. See, I'm going to change the width of these. Also known as mud crab land. I don't think so. Unless you consider land you're renting from the horseshoe crabs to be your land. In which case, sure. We need another river right here. Looks like it transitions pretty well. Mostly. I can see a little bit where they overlap, but that should be okay. Mud crabs reign supreme. I don't think so. Not on this island. The horseshoe crab is the alpha predator. The sooner you accept it, the better you'll feel. Trust me. Rivers are fun to make. And there are a couple different ways to make them, and both ways it's satisfying. I don't know why. Is this tilting? No. Looks like it's not. It's just the landscape making it look weird. Well, there's no amount of numbers that can defeat the horseshoe crab, but I don't want to destroy all of your hope. This will be determined. Yeah, I think either the jungle or the redwoods is my favorite so far, but my goal, at least, is to try and make each biome good enough that I feel the same about all of them. I think I'm gonna have to put some rocks here or something so I can blend it. Oh yes. I'm okay with this. I needed enemies to be afraid of when I'm online. One v one me IRL, bro. Man, I've never said that in my life. Mud crabs do have the ability to flip back over, you're right. But that's alright. The horseshoe crab doesn't fall down in the first place. At least not this one. These are special. Trust me. I did. I'm not sure how I feel. I guess it's okay. In the end, the horseshoe crab is on my side. And we're going to put the smaller bodies of water right here, and then we can finally put the trees down. I feel like meadows are kind of shaped around the streams, so it seems like a good way to start it. I do need to put a bridge somewhere, though. Or some little rocks you can hop across. It'll be like Spyro. They always had little rocks and things like that in the middle of streams for you to jump across, because you couldn't swim. Oh, there's actually more on the map about the horseshoe crab, but it's hidden. One day people will find it. But today is not that day. Yeah, I think rocks would be a good choice for going across. Spyro was amazing. I loved it. I play the remaster every now and then. You can burn it, but it will rise from the ashes. Nothing can take down the horseshoe crab. It is horseshoe crab propaganda, you're absolutely right. I can't help myself. When you find something so great, you can't help but talk about it. Oh, I see. I see. So why is it moving so slowly here? That's my question. Wonder if there's a... No, I guess not. Let's tweak this water a little bit because I'm not sure about it right now. But we can make it nicer. Will there be mud? There... I definitely want to add it. I've been looking at redoing some of the layers of the landscape and seeing if I can get a little bit more out of it. There's a limit to how many how many layers you can have on a landscape. And I'm pretty much there, but I've been able to push past it a little bit. I think I'm going to make this move a little bit more. Let's try like 0.4. Okay. And a higher multiplier. Mud baths for the dinos. That would be pretty cool. I'd have to talk to the programmers about that one. That would mainly be for them. I'd just be putting some mud here and there. Oh, I'm not scared of the mud. I'm with the horseshoe crabs. I'll be fine. Let's make the ripples a little bit faster. Scatter. It might be a little too much. Let's see. That is indeed a little too much. 005. I agree. I thought the mountains would be a nice view from the meadows. Just want to make this water look good before we continue. Maybe drop this down a tad. That's pretty good. I don't want it to look perfectly clean because that's not what meadows really look like. Looks like we need to modify this a little bit. Dead logs, yes, definitely. That'd look pretty awesome. I think we'll add some. Let's see, how far does this go? I think I'm good with that. It's true. It is an Airstream. I've seen it myself. And thank you for dropping in. Just gonna fix this up a little bit. I want the borders to be a little bit more defined in a couple spots. The Trials bike racing game, yes. Yes, I have. I loved them. It's been a really long time, but I did. I think what I like about this spot is that it's kind of hard to tell how deep it is. So there might be something lurking in the water, or there might not be. You just don't know. Did I ever make maps for it? I can't remember. I think I did make a couple of maps for the Trials games. I definitely did. There was this hunting game I used to play with my brother a long time ago. It was, I think, Cabela's Big Game Hunter or something like that. And I made some maps for that. That was pretty fun. I'm gonna save that before I get too far. Lurking in the water. Could be a mud crab. You know, it could be, but as long as it's not a horseshoe crab, you're safe. Big Game Hunter was fun. I don't even go hunting in real life, but hunting games can be pretty fun. Like, oh, what's it called? I'm suddenly forgetting. Let me look on Steam real quick. Got it opened up. Let's see. What's the game? Some hunting game I have. Oh, Call of the Wild. That's what it is. The Hunter Call of the Wild. It's up there. Bear hunting. That's pretty awesome. I've never done that. I hunted deer a long time ago, but only like once. I was a little kid and my dad told me that I just cried a lot because it was boring. And that was about it. Oh yes, the game is fun. It's really good if you have somebody to play with. Yeah, I don't know if maybe my dad went hunting as a kid and enjoyed it, but I don't know. I have kids now, and I can't imagine them actually wanting to hunt. It's not the most exciting thing. But maybe some kids do like it. I have no idea. Oh yeah, same here. I liked fishing. It's been a while, but I've thought about going to fish again. We also have this pond in town that apparently has alligators, which I've never seen in the wild. So I'm really tempted to go there so I can see them. Then I could fish and see gators. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool. As long as I watch out for them, of course, but I think it'd be really cool to see gators in real life. Not behind a zoo exhibit, I mean. The fear of dying without dying. I didn't even know there were gators in Texas until then. You have moose that you have to watch for when you fish. I bet those things are massive. I'm guessing they could probably mess somebody up pretty bad. I'll bring this up a little bit right here. I guess Texas does kind of have everything. I always think of this as a boring place, but there are a lot of things here. I probably just haven't gone to see them, is all. I did go to Jacob's Well, though, which was pretty cool. Just very cold water. Oh yes, I love Unreal Engine. It's, I don't know for sure because it's been a long time since I've used another engine, but I'm pretty sure you could do this effect in most, like, you could probably do it in Unity. It's, using world space tiling for the water on the plane, and that's how I can turn it and have it be seamless. It's pretty nice. I also like to use world space tiling for rocks if I'm going to be putting them together, like a bunch of them in one spot, for the same reason. It where they meet, it's not so obvious and it's really seamless. My personal favorite part about the game is that it also runs good. Oh, yes, there is. You're right. Shame on me. You must fix this. There we go. No more. Now let's make sure I didn't make it pop up over here. We are good. Yes, you're absolutely right. My PC sounds like a jet right now. Actually, before I merge these together, I want to put some floating sorry. I want to put some floating moss on these. Actually, let's use these. So we need to change the tiling because that looks terrible. Let's try 1024. I think we'll use a different one because this does not look good. There's another good one right here, I think. Oh, whoops. Now let me see. I think it looked a little bit better below the surface. I have to look again. Last time I tried it. No, maybe it was above. Because it changes the tiling, so I think I need to turn off collisions for this. Probably has them enabled. Let's see. No collision. But it's still picking up the distance field. So... there it goes. No distance field lighting. Oh, does that cause it to be invisible though? I think it does. Let's see. It does. How terrible. Because the problem is it's affecting the water right here. Oh, I need to put it somewhere where it won't. Hmm. There is, but I try to avoid decals because they have a little bit of a performance cost, which is kind of ridiculous, but right now it's floating. So if I turn off what I thought, though I might have to come back for this. Don't remember how I did it last time. I did it recently in the jungle. But the problem is the water interacts with distance fields instead of normal collision, so it's picking this up even without collisions. Problematic. Oh well. We'll forget about those for right now. Let's just... We could put some lily pads, things like that. Yeah, it especially with virtual textures, which is what we're using. Textures in general are very cheap on performance. It's just decals. I don't know why. I think because they cull differently than everything else. Do we have lily pads in this? No. No, for sure we have some in this pack. Make sure I don't already have them loaded. Okay, it looks like I don't. Water plants. Very good. Oh yes, lily pads. This should work. Let me see how it looks. Yes, it does. Since I'm using a mesh for the water right here, I can just paint it on the mesh, and boom. Let's just drop down the density a little bit, because that was pretty intense. Perfect. And really, this looks better than what I was going to do anyways. I have accidentally deleted a whole plant off the map, but luckily I can just undo whatever I did and then all is well. I still remember one time I was on a call with Islander, and he deleted a huge section of forest on accident. Luckily, that was the same deal that he could just undo, but it was a little terrifying for just a moment. We do have reeds. Definitely about to paint a bunch of those. No, don't you know? We don't make errors, ever. I say this, as you'll be playing the game soon, and I'm sure you'll find an error somewhere. I say that as if you'll only find one. Rookie numbers. Oh, did I just paint these on land? I did. But this is one reason I like using planes for water where I can, because it's easy to paint plants like this onto the surface. And then the strength of nanite, painting thousands of these, and it's perfectly fine. They are full geometry though, so that helps a lot. No opacity masks anywhere in sight. Excellent. It feels good. It feels good. I think that was... Oh wait, I missed this one. There we go. I know, it would be so shameful if the horseshoe crabs had to come in here and just destroy every living thing. It'd be shameful, really. But I can't tell them what to do. Let's see, turn off collisions, because I almost always forget, and I have to come back later and turn them off. when it's a water plane. Oh, where'd they go? There we go. No collision. They can Z-fight all they want as long as we don't see it. So now we're instancing these so that it's even cheaper on performance. It makes kind of a little sub-level. And for some reason, tick is enabled by default on these actors, which is kind of terrible, so let's turn that off. Go. Perfect. Now we're going to do the same with the other ones. Normally, each plane separately, since translucent things, meaning water on planes, they can't be nanite. So normally each one of these would incur a draw call per mesh. And then more for the material. But when we batch them together like this, it's one draw call for the material, one for the mesh, or meshes. So it's a lot cheaper on performance. There we go. Mudcrab King, I'm afraid you'll be looking a lot longer than that, but I mean, it's good to look and dream, but, you know, the horseshoe crabs, I can't stop them. But thank you for dropping in. Hopefully you sleep well. That's really nice to hear, Vince. I appreciate that. Hopefully you enjoy it, because I'm sure you'll probably end up playing some dino games here and there. So I'm hoping this will be one that you enjoy. And now we can add some reeds and trees. I don't know about all that. Horseshoe crabs. They are the dominant species here. I'm just letting you know as a PSA, it's not even, you know, it's not threatening or anything, but you know, the horseshoe crabs do what they have to do. And I have no power over it. I can only choose to resist or embrace. Okay, I was making sure I set those up for that. So those should be taken care of, I think. Yes. Okay, so let's add... Oh, you know what? I missed one over here. Whoops. I am in the meadows. I wondered if you were here. Oh, there's no sad fate. I'm very happy about our horseshoe crab overlords. I was telling them about the time that you and I were on a call, and you deleted part of the forest, and it was fine because you just undid it. But it was a terrifying moment. Island boy. But yes, we've been adding some streams. They're all deep enough to swim around in. Mud Crab Kingdom. I think not. You can believe that, though. But I'll be here, with my horseshoe crab brethren. You just watch out. I'll hide in this water. Just wait until I convince the programmers to give me a flying horseshoe crab. Just you wait. You'll see. I'm like a kid. I'm sure they get tired of my requests for flying horseshoe crabs, but it's not my fault for being unreasonable. You don't even have a membership. Do I have a membership? I don't think I do. But it's okay, I'm too busy doing hood rat stuff on the map. Oh. No. I only hate it if I don't get to be a flying horseshoe crab. I don't know, you must not have thought very hard. But, I mean, that is what I've come to expect, of course, so... Water lilies. We need more. We do have HSC. It's beautiful. That's amazing. Not even gonna lie, I've been considering going to get a horseshoe crab tattoo. But that's really not surprising for me. I have, like, lots of weird tattoos. It does kind of look like a chocolate lollipop, you're right. Mud crab tattoo. That is better than no crab at all tattoo. But you should consider just adding a horseshoe crab. They could be friends. Yeah, I mean, that's how I eat horseshoe crabs personally, when they allow me to feast upon their flesh. Normally I stop streaming at 2 hours, but I want to make sure that we add the reeds and the trees, so we're going to do that before I stop. Oh, there it is. Well, usually it's after the ritual. They like to see my devotion before I can feast upon their flesh. I don't know, I don't feel like a loser. I'm playing adult Legos. Maybe you and Islander can fight me. 2v1 me. IRL, bro. I don't know, I feel like Islander might be one of those guys that has like a bunch of rage built up over years, and he's just going to pummel me. I don't know. Can you ever really be sure? Got to set no collision on a bunch of these. Not the pincher. Oh no. Okay, let's add some reeds. My parents always told me to read. Good God, that was a dad joke. I am a dad though, so it fits. Get some of these reed boys out here. All of them. Very good. Now we can add them. Make them insanely dense. Oh, maybe not that dense. Never mind. We're going back to how it was. I actually do like reading, but I haven't done it as much as I have meant to for a little while. My username is actually based on one of my favorite books. That's a good question. I haven't tried. I'll have to look into that. There we go. I was making sure I actually had them culling a little bit further so they don't disappear so quickly. Yeah, there's one book I still need to finish out of the series I was reading. And then I started working from home and now I'm a huge workaholic. That is amazing. A huge yes. I would absolutely surf that. I've never surfed in my life, but that would be the day. It's true. I I cannot complain at all. I'm a workaholic because this is my hobby as well, so may as well just keep doing it. Scared of the ocean. Why are you scared of the ocean? Oops. Look at that. I'll have to fix that in a moment. I guess I can see though, like, we have no idea what all is down at the very bottom of the ocean. There's probably a lot more than we've seen. There are also some known bad things down there, so I guess there's that. And now let's add some trees. Yeah, that should be good. Let's see how this looks. Might be too dense at first. It is a little bit too dense. That's pretty solid. Ooh, yeah, that is pretty terrible. That'd be a little terrifying to see. You are right about that. At the same time, it's so cool. It gives you this sense of wonder. Okay, this is looking a lot better than it was at the beginning of the stream, I think. This is a lot closer to what I had in mind. I think we need a little in the middle here, though. Maybe not that much. Yeah, I think it's still pretty cool, but it would be terrifying. You are not wrong. Just do these two variants of medium trees right now until I get it narrowed down a little bit better. Let me see how dense that is. That is too much. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's about what I was aiming for. And I'll probably put little clearings inside of these, like one that just naturally formed over here. Because I'd like to have things like a big rock in the middle or something like that. You know how I am about rocks. I can't stop. Might even put some of the medium ones in between some of these patches of trees here and there. Yeah, that looks alright. I like it. I think it's going a lot better than it was before the stream. Yeah, that's pretty. Well, maybe I'll drop it down a little bit. Smaller trees over here. But I need some more interesting big trees that I can put by themselves between these patches of trees. So I'm going to work on that. But overall, solid. It's a good start. Alright, I guess we'll stop here because it looks like we're at a good stopping point. And I was almost done with those trees for the meadows, so we should have some more variety here soon. Hello there. I appreciate it. I think it's a good start. It's definitely a lot closer than it was. But we'll go ahead and stop here. I will be back on Thursday at the same time. So I hope to see you all there. Have a good day, everyone.